What's up, everybody? We're back with another video, and this video is going to be a little bit more of a serious topic. It's a little sensitive, but we're going to keep it, we're going to say how we feel about the subject, and we're going to go from there. So I just read the Kevin Hart situation about the Oscars, and they wanted him to apologize of a comedy special he did back in 2011. I'm not sure I'm correct with that date. It could be even later than that, maybe 2009. I don't know. I know it was around that time, and it has something to do with gay jokes about his son. He didn't want his son to be gay. If you guys don't know about that, just type in Kevin Hart Oscars and y'all can read about it. But basically the Oscars wanted him to apologize about something he said in a comedy special years ago. Now, we're not trying to make light of that. We're just saying, why do he need to apologize for something that he already apologized for himself publicly with nobody asking him to do that before? Or I think he got a little heat around that time.
Yeah.
And he apologized for the jokes, but he was saying that's what was going on in his life at the time. So he decided to, make a special about it. He caught a little heat and he apologized for it. But we're saying, why does he need to apologize again when he already apologized for that special when he did that already? Why do he need to do it again? So basically, he had an ultimatum. They said, either apologize or we'll find another host. He said, find another host.
Yeah. And I think that, like Ron said, we're not condoning what he said.
Not at all.
He said what he said.
We're not defending.
We're not defending that. At the time, I thought it was hilarious, but I am not of that protected class. So there are times where I can, say, although we're talking about Mexicans, I don't find that funny. Or we're talking about Africans, I don't find that funny. But, or even if they're talking about gay people or transgender or lesbians, I don't find that funny. This particular thing I found funny. That doesn't mean that he's right or wrong. That's how he felt at the time. And like he said in one of the little live tweets I read, he said, I'm almost 40 years old. I would think that, we should all be growing and maturing and knowing better as we get older. And he said, and this is the case for me. I hurt people. I apologized for it at the time. I'm not going to keep apologizing for it. And I agree with him. I don't think that he should keep apologizing for it.
And y'all got to remember, Kevin Hart is not an old man. He's not, I'm older than Kevin Hart. He's not even 40 yet. Yeah. And when he did that comedy special, I'm talking about the one that we're talking about, where he did, the man was like 32 years old. He was young.
Yeah. Excuse me.
And you got to realize, this ain't the first time. Many comedians of all races done said stuff. You got Roseanne Barr. You got the guy that I keep Gilbert Gottfried done said racial jokes.
I didn't even know.
That's why he doesn't do the Aflac commercials anymore.
I had no idea.
That's exactly
idea. I have to look that up. Yeah, that's because I didn't know.
That's exactly why he doesn't do the Aflac commercials anymore. You got Roseanne Barr. You got him. We got more. Who else?
And that's the thing of it. Like, you have to have, I try to put myself in other people's situations and not just respond from my own point of view because, obviously that's one-sided if you're only looking at it from your own point of view.
There's two sides.
So there's many sides.
Yeah.
So I try to look at it from different ways and I'm thinking,
Paula Deen.
Well, she should have been gone. And same with Roseanne.
Well, see, that's where me and her are different. I'm in the business and y'all can disagree and even my wife can disagree. Eventually, you got to be in the business to forgive. You got to be in the forgiveness business. If you are about God and you love God, God forgive us for our sins.
Yeah.
So who the hell are us to say, well, just like she just said, I'm not saying I'm better than my wife because I'm not, but I'm telling you, I am 41 years old. Who am I to say, forget that person, lose your job? Okay. When all the stuff is said and done, when the person went to jail, did their time, when the person said what they said and they get ridiculed and money taken away from them and not doing this and not doing that, let's say 2, 3, 4 years went down the line, we still mad?
Did Paula Deen apologize though?
why can't we all be in the forgiveness business? I look at it this way. Yeah, I cuss. Yeah, I drink. I'm not perfect at all. I do, you know what I mean? I chill. When I'm amongst my boys, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I say the N word. I do. When I'm watching sports and this, and another, I'm saying all kind of stuff. So what I'm saying is, who am I? Who am I not to forgive? My wife has forgiven me for stuff. I've forgiven my wife for stuff. I'm telling you guys, it's better to forgive eventually, because the things that happened to you in the past and you keep holding on to it, it eats you. It eats and eats, it eats you. And if y'all don't understand what I'm saying by it eats you, it eats your soul. It makes you eventually, as you get older, it makes you bitter. Sorry, everybody. Camera cut off, battery died. So as I was saying about the bitter, I'm gonna get off that, and I just believe if you just keep everything bottled in, I think eventually it just turns you into a mean person, bitter person, a very snappy person, and not a delightful person to be around.
With that, I lost my train of thought, but back to the Kevin Hart thing. I just think that having more compassion for people and other protected groups and things like that goes a long way, because I thought the joke was funny, but somebody of the LGBTQ community, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm saying those in the right order.
We apologize.
But somebody of that group might not think it's funny, just like people laugh at jokes with the N-word in it. I don't think those jokes are funny. So
you don't laugh at N-word jokes at all?
Rarely.
I do.
Rarely.
I do.
So it's all personal preference. But back to the main point, I don't think he should apologize again. He's already done it. You don't have to keep apologizing for the same thing over and over again.
Which he already did already.
If your apology is sincere, then drop it. Like, I'm not one to apologize profusely. I apologize once, and depending on who it is, they might get a second apology, and that's it. And I don't even accept multiple apologies. Like, by the second apology, I'm like, get over it. Like, give me a chance to move on. I don't need you to keep apologizing to me for something.
And not trying to bring up old stuff, guys, but come on, man. Just think about it. I don't know if I said this in the previous clip, because it's been a while since the previous clip, but come on now. Roseanne, Gilbert Gottfried, we got
Kramer,
we got whatever that guy's real name is, and maybe he just went off the whim because he was angry. We got the Duck Dynasty father. I don't know him. I don't know the family, but we, as soon as we heard what we heard, we was quick to pounce on him, because we was like, man, you said that. But and black folks was loving those guys. Everybody was loving Duck Dynasty until the father said what he said. You know what I mean? You got Paula Dean. You got
Did we say Roseanne already?
Yeah, we said him already, and we also got I'm drawing a blank here. There's another person in the situation with Jeffrey Owens, with the lady taking the picture and clowning him and all that stuff. Like, we gotta stop this stuff. That's all form of just trying to just knock people down.
I think the main thing is people are just trying to control other people's thoughts and actions way too much, and we're way too petty, and it's just like, there's one thing of being sensitive to other people's
to a subject,
to other people's situations. There's one thing to be sensitive and have compassion and to sympathize with them, but to get to the point of pettiness where now you're digging up dirt on people and trying to ruin someone's career, like it. Let's deal with the present. Like, why do we need to go backwards? Like, let's just keep moving forward. And
we got a lot of comedians and a lot of people, period, done said bad stuff.
Just like even with the Redskins thing, they want them to change their name. And at first, when I heard that, I was like, really? They've been the Redskins for God knows how long. This is petty. But it's not for me to say. I'm not a Native American. I don't know how they feel about that. So it's not for me to say that they shouldn't be offended or that it's not offensive. Just like it's not for somebody to tell me that I shouldn't be offended by the Paula Deen situation or the Roseanne situation. Just like it's not for me or anybody else to tell the gay and lesbian community that they shouldn't be offended by what Kevin Hart did. That's not even really my point of the whole thing of this video. It's just to say that he shouldn't have to keep apologizing because he's already apologized. And what is the apology really going to do? You can't take the words back. They're already out there. And he's clearly said, I'm not even 40 years old yet. I've made some mistakes. I'm doing the best I can. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with me not wanting my kid to be gay. Like, yeah, I maybe shouldn't have said it that way, but he just wants his kid to be gay. Like, there's nothing wrong with having that opinion. If I had children, I wouldn't want them to be gay either. That doesn't mean I would love them any less. But no, who wants their child to be gay? Like, and he just made a joke out of it. He makes jokes out of real life. All comedians do. They all make jokes out of real life. Just like that Bill Burr guy, is that his name? I don't find his humor funny at all. He says some crazy offensive shit. But,
True.
You know, you can choose not to watch him.
I agree with
that.
Like,
you can just go on. Like, if he then is going to do something spectacular, I'm not going to pull up all of his stuff and find something to be offended by it to ruin his career.
Just move on.
Just move on. Like, there are jacked up people in the world. Everybody is not as nice as they could be. Let's just acknowledge that and move forward.
Like, and there's a difference between being facetious and then there's a difference as just playing around. Regardless if you guys want to believe that, I believe there's a way when you saying facetious words and how you present it and how you say it facetiously. And then I also believe that there's a way when you say that same exact thing, but you're just playing around and you mean nothing by it. You're just saying it. Just because at that time that's how you feel. You have no mean ill will towards it whatsoever.
Just like there are times where I do stuff and my brothers will say, you're gay. Like, okay, yeah, it may not be politically correct, but I know what they mean. They're being funny. Just like if my brother does something and I don't anymore, but there's a time where I said, you're retarded. Like, and a friend of mine checked me on it. She has had a brother who passed away and he had complications from Down syndrome. Yeah. And she heard me say that jokingly to someone else, and she was so upset and very offended. And at the time, I was like, you know what I mean. But again, it's not for me to be offended. Yeah. It's for her to be offended. And if she's offended by it and I did it, I have no problem apologizing, in which I did. And Kevin has apologized. Yeah. You know, let's move forward.
Yeah, he should not have to apologize because of a show wants him to apologize so they can move on and say, okay, he apologized, let's make him the host. When it comes to that matter, I agree with him cold-heartedly that he's not going to...
Cold-heartedly?
What'd I say?
Cold-heartedly?
Okay, whatever. No. As I said, I agree with him, period. I already did my sincere apology already. Just because you are telling me to apologize at today's date, no. Peace. I'll see y'all at a later time. And I already done all that. That's all in the past. If y'all want another host, get another host. Yeah. It's not stopping me. First of all, he's still making movies and he's still doing his comedy tour.
And I think the Oscars need him more than he needs the Oscars.
At this point in time, I agree with my wife.
Oscars are boring.
I agree.
We don't even watch the Oscars.
I think, yeah.
I mean, not that we're any.
I'm not saying
we're not the trendiest people in the world.
Obviously, you see what you see what we do.
I mean, but if Kevin was hosting the Oscars, I would try to find a way to watch them. We don't have cable or TV in our house, but I would find a way to watch them if he was the host.
I think most people will watch it.
He would bring something fresh and new to it. Them jokes are corny. I'm sorry. Them jokes, they need some refreshing. Yeah. Like, the Oscars could use some help. But
let's be honest, y'all. I mean, not even comedians. How many people out there in this world that said hurtful things and probably not as popular as Kevin Hart and all those other people that were named, and also with just anybody that's in the public's eye. We say anything, we automatically, he said the N-word.
Clutch of pearls.
Oh, he said this. He just called him. You know what I mean? I mean, let's come on, man. He didn't commit a crime. He just said some words. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. She's sensitive to things. I'm sensitive to things.
Words hurt. Words mean
hurt.
things.
Words hurt. But you know what?
You have to take it a little. You have to take it with a grain of salt when it's a comedy show.
Yeah.
Like, get it together.
It ain't like he was in his living room talking to his people.
And somebody's secretly filming him and caught him saying something malicious.
And then he posted it.
He intentionally said it as a joke.
Yeah.
Because, comedians, they have a
comedians are edgy.
weird mind.
Comedians are edgy.
And,
And they always will be.
It was funny. Hey, Red Fox has said some things.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor has said a lot of things.
And I can go I can go further than that. I may say his last name wrong, but you got Rudy Ray Morgan with the I think it's called the malicious monkey, or when it goes way down deep, that monkey never sleep. Go check that out.
Paul
basically
Rooney.
Go check that out. It's about a monkey that's always doing something. Go check that out. Y'all be like, oh.
So yeah,
check that out.
There's a lot of controversial things out there. It doesn't necessarily make it right, but you know what? We have the choice to turn it off. Which is why we don't have TV.
We have the choice, and that's why you have legs. That's why you have feet. You can walk away.
Right. You cannot buy into whatever they're selling. Just like
you have the choice to not speak.
Right. Just like when Chris Brown did what he did to Rihanna. A lot of people I know stopped listening to his music. He came on the radio. They changed the station. On the other hand, I don't know Chris Brown. I don't agree with what he did. There's multiple sides to one story, and I wasn't choosing sides. I was just choosing to enjoy the boy's music. That's it. Love the music. Don't have to love the guy. Same thing with who's that other person that I used to like? R. Kelly. R. Kelly's, for a while I continued to listen to his music, but now I would never go to a concert or pay or support anything that he does. Just because it is obvious that he is continuing to commit crimes against women. And I can't even listen to his music anymore. He's just disgusting. No matter how much I like the music, it's unfortunate that nothing is happening to him.
We can't say because he's never been convicted.
Oh, so, allegedly.
So you have to say
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yes. Okay. Allegedly.
She meant allegedly.
Yes. Yeah. And there's just people that you don't necessarily. Elvis Presley allegedly didn't like black people. I still love some Elvis Presley music.
But that's how he was raised.
I don't buy into that, but that's how they were raised. Because when you're a grown adult, you get to decide.
But sometimes that's all you know.
We grew up hearing things that weren't right, but we're not like that.
The problem is when you want to change, you seek better.
Exactly. So he's responsible for himself.
Oh, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when you seek better, you want to do better. Just because they got money, that doesn't mean they want to be a better person.
Right.
Do y'all get that? All right.
So, you can enjoy an entertainer without supporting them by, excuse me, I have the hiccups. It seems like I always have the hiccups when we're doing videos. Where you can support, or I should say you can enjoy an entertainer's music or comedy or movies or whatever without necessarily going out and purchasing their shows or paying for concerts and things like that. And you don't have to.
Don't worry about me. You just keep talking.
You don't have to necessarily mean that you subscribe to everything that they do. But just to wrap it up, basically, I agree with Kevin Hart. He shouldn't have to keep apologizing, and I think the Oscars are going to lose out on this one.
I mean, they're always going to get their normal numbers, but
they'll probably get more ratings now because people are going to want to tune in to see if it's going to be better.
Yeah, or whatever case that may happen. But me and this one, we won't watch it. But I think that's it, man. We just wanted to talk about it because we thought it was just so weird that he has to But you know how this world is, y'all. Everybody, you know, just love everybody. Each one teach one, man. We have to get better as a community, as a whole, as a world. Just, it's so much hate out here. It's crazy why we just gotta hate. Why can't we just love?
Yeah.
Why can't we just appreciate? Why can't we just help one another? Why can't we just, when that person fell, give them a hand? I don't understand why we just can't do that. I know there's people out here that are hungry. They need to do what they need to do to feed their family, themselves. But why we just can't just, love?
I think that will go a long way to a lot of the problems.
Yeah.
Love, empathy, compassion, sympathy, just all the feels. Let's just have all the feels and just, take a minute to just say, you know what? This may not personally affect me, but because it hurts this person, let me explore this a little more and not just like, bulldoze over their feelings like they don't matter. Like let's just do that for each other.
And I'm not perfect, y'all. I've been out there in them streets, and I could be the first one to tell you. You're gonna hear it right here. I wasn't all about this caring stuff. I had a cold heart. Don't get me wrong. I loved my family and I loved my people, but I didn't care about loving that person I did not know. You know what I mean? I got this as I got older because I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to be a better individual. You know what I mean? So I know what it feels like to be out there in the streets and only caring about you and yours. That's it. Nothing outside of that. I know what that feels like. It drives you. But sometimes it drives you into the wrong events. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if we can just keep our minds on just loving an abundance of everybody, it'll be a better place, man. Yeah. Straight up. But that's it, y'all. I know we was rambling. We just wanted to talk about it because we just thought it was weird. It's just so much craziness. But we wanted to be serious for a little while. We do our normal things. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys like it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And G-Way, y'all see us again in the next video.
Bye.
Peace.